Hi, Beto. Can I bother you for a second?
Sure, what's up?
Is this JB from CISV? I don't really get it.
Oh, okay. What don't you understand?
Like, for example, what are NJRs and what are they supposed to do?
Easy, let us explain. What do the NJRs do?
NJRs plan national camp, NJBM, neighborhood meetings, design the national branding, support local JBs, share best practices among the region for the growth of the region and the national JB, and represent the national JB's interests abroad.
Oh, I get it. But then, what's an NJBM and why is it important?
Even easier. Let me show you. Why is a national junior branch meeting necessary?
The NJBM is important for training JBers, encouraging communication between local JBers, the voting process of the NJRs, and the creating of new ideas for the national JB's growth.
Oh, I see. And what is the relation that the NA has with the JV?
Simple. Why does the National Association need a JB?
We are the youth and we are the future of the organization. We come with bright ideas, with new ideas that we want to implement and that we are actually finding a way to do it and to have an impact. And JB is the tool for us to do it, because CISV in an international level, it has a very abstract impact and a very expensive one as well.
I think that in junior branch and CISV, we have developed a lot of knowledge on project management and interesting and different pedagogical perspectives. I do think we have all the skills to implement those projects in the correct way, have successful results and great impacts, and I do think we have all the attitude to inspire and empower others.
JB is a really important part of CISV, and it is the way to keep the youth, the future of the organization, they're active and inspired of what we do and what we love.
Seems like the JB is really useful to the NA.
Okay, but listen. The NA needs the JB as much as the JB needs them. Look! How do you think the National Association helps the National JB?
Junior branch without a national association wouldn't have a national identity. For example, what would NJRs do and what would they represent if they didn't have a national association? Another thing is that I do believe JB is able to accomplish huge things. But don't we all need a little bit of help when we want to change the world? For example, I would have never learned to manage our national budget if it wasn't because of the national treasurer. And another example is if we want to go to international meetings so we can share with other NJRs and other JBers around the world, and we don't have enough money, maybe we can just prove DNA how much can we give them in terms of social resources, activities, and keeping the CISV feeling throughout the world so they can sponsor us to those meetings.
Our NA helps our national JB because we're both working towards the same goal, but they can offer another perspective on our problems and how to solve them. I really think this connection and interaction between the NA and the JB is really, really important and fundamental to the organization, because otherwise we would be doing two separate things and we don't want that. So when the two parts work together, work as one, is really beneficial for both parts because we can have the youth experience and the more organizational perspective as well. So I think everything just works better, and yeah.
Wow, do you think the NA can have as much impact without a JB?
Well, do you think the National Association itself can have as much impact without the JB?
So JB is the way of applying everything we learn, everything we love about CISV in our own country, in our own local community, and actually sharing something as beautiful as CISV with people that don't have the opportunity to actually experience a CISV camp or a CISV experience in general. Furthermore, CISV also needs JB because it keeps volunteers active and motivated and positive about the impact that CISV has, and therefore just keeping our volunteers interested in what we do and kind of like inspired that we cannot only have an impact when we're in the camp, but also when we're in our own countries and when we are just trying to make a change. However, we are starting in our local communities, because that is where actually needs to be a change first in order for it to be implemented in an international level.
Having said that, do you think that a JB can take on a project on its own?
Here's the thing. Do you think the JB can take a project on its own?
There are some JBs that can, and there are some other JBs that can do projects on their own. But the thing is, I believe that's our final goal. I believe we're heading to a point that in the future we will be able to accomplish projects on our own and make them possible regardless of the size of our chapter or the JBers that we are counting on.
Now I get it. The only thing I don't understand is why they have to travel then.
Do you mean going to neighborhood, regional, or international meetings? What is a neighborhood meeting? Why is it necessary?
A neighborhood meeting is when JBers from different countries that are nearby and have similar cultures share their ideas, experiences, failures, and challenges they encounter when doing new activities and creating a new project. These meetings are important because JBers have the opportunity to make new friends, meet new people, and improve the communication between JBs. When JBers go back home, they have a bunch of new ideas to apply in their countries.
Neighborhood workshops take the needs of the neighborhood and they respond to them. So I've been to workshops for 2 different neighborhoods before and found them to be very different, but they completely responded to what those neighborhoods needed. I think that there are a lot of different roles that neighborhood workshops could play, and I think that between neighborhoods they can develop and they can change over time.
And what are those regional teams for?
Let one of the team members explain.
IJB, which stands for International Junior Branch, is split into 3 different regions. We have the Americas Junior Branch region, we have the Asia Pacific Junior Branch region, and then we have the Middle East and Africa Junior Branch region.
The regional team is focused on coordinate all the JBs in the region so we can develop a junior branch that is bigger and stronger, helping with training and providing new tools and being that connection between the JBs and other levels of CISV.
EJBM is the Europe, Middle East and Africa Junior Branch meeting. It is our annual regional junior branch meeting that happens around Easter every year, and during this meeting all NJRs should attend to represent their JBs, and we update each other on our JBs, our strategies, and take decisions as a region together. It is during EJBM that we elect the 2 new EJB team members.
And having a regional meeting helps us to have the moment into which we can interact together, and actually helps us to develop together not only the leaderships of the junior branch movement, but also helps us to make a closer contact for this strategy to flow within the structure of the organization.
And also because it builds a sense of community between us. If we know each other and we've worked together, it's easier to then approach somebody from your region, ask for help, and use the other people's knowledge as tools for your own developing of projects.
What about the IJRs? What do they do?
IJRs? Hear it from one of them.
We coordinate the work of Junior Branch internationally. This means that we're in constant touch with the teams, meaning the IJB team and also the regional JB teams. We encourage joint actions between them, so we're there to facilitate this whole structure that is junior branch on the international level. So this also implies in coordinating IJBCs. These international meetings are one of the most inspiring environments that I've ever been to, because you get to see a lot of people from all around the world and they're all willing to contribute to CISV, and the whole creativity and the whole inspiration that these meetings have encourages you to contribute to CISV and to develop projects, develop activities, and develop actions in our NAs, but also it really inspires you on the personal level.
You are the best. Now I'm able to understand what the JB review motion is changing.
The what?
Now you listen.
What is the JB review?
The JB review is a motion that started in 2013 after the big organizational review Blue Sparks did to CISV. It is a document and it is a process to evaluate ways on how junior branch could fit better within the organization. It is your opportunity to evaluate our flaws and our new chances and paths we could take to fulfill CISV's purpose and to find better ways to do action. So it's very important to have your opinion on it and check it out. And that's it.
That was interesting. I love it when we have these conversations.
I love you.